3D Rising is out just outside of Indianapolis, Indiana at the Midwest Lacrosse Challenge, talking to Culver Academy head coach Jon Posner. Coach, congrats. Your team just took the championship after an 18-0 win over New Trier. That gives you 3 wins for the weekend. Just talk about this event and how much it means to you.
Well, I think it's one of the premier events in the for the Midwest. I'd say it is the premier event. Great competition, teams from 4 different states, so it was a great weekend. 3 games in 3 days.
Obviously, that's not an easy turnaround. 3 teams, 3 days. Talk about what you do as a team to try to keep them focused. And obviously, maybe it's not that unusual for you as a team that has to compact some games in on your schedule at different times.
Right. I mean, I think we compete all the time. Our practices are highly competitive. We do a lot of running. We do a lot in the off season. We start out our season with a 5-game swing out on the East Coast, and we play 5 games in 7 days. So this is kind of a normal habit right now of 3 games in 3 days for us.
Talk about the teams that came out here. I mean, there was some really great talent here. Teams from Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana. Pretty great mix.
Yeah, it was. The teams are great. They're the top in the Midwest, and they're invited here for a reason. St. Xavier from Ohio, New Trier from Chicago, Brother Rice from Illinois. From Michigan. We think it's Mike Capoletti, the head coach at Detroit Country Day School, and I. We try to be very intentional on who we invite, and we think we get the best of the Midwest.
Culver Academy goes through a really rigorous schedule throughout the year, playing some of the top teams. We saw you play McDonough earlier in the year. Just talk about where your team is now versus maybe where it was then when we caught up with you last in Maryland.
Yeah, I think we're getting better every day. Unfortunately, we've been plagued with some injury, and our philosophy has always been the next man up, and they're really living up to that. Being without Alex Simmons the last 6 games is for most teams would be hard to swallow, but I'm really proud of our guys and how they step up, and it's great to continue to stay on top.
This is our first trip out to Indiana to watch high school lacrosse. Obviously, this is making a big impact on the Indianapolis lacrosse scene, and I guess just talk about the lacrosse culture in Indiana and how you've tried to impact that with an event like this, and
right.
And how you schedule your games.
Yeah, I mean, I think the lacrosse in general in the Midwest is getting stronger and stronger every year. All these youth programs popping up. I think having Notre Dame right up in South Bend is great for our state. We're really the growth in my 14 years out in the Midwest has been phenomenal. The youth programs are great. I think we're going to be there very soon.
Talk about what you think you guys can improve on coming out of this weekend.
I would say, a couple things we need to do is we need to take care of the ball a little better at times. But we got a lot of people involved this weekend. I mean, there was a lot of goal scorers, and just the little things, the little pieces of detail that we can kind of fix before we go back out east.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time. Rain's starting to come down here, so safe travels on the way home.
All right, thank you, Casey.